So when you are going through a hardship or a difficult life trial, who or what do you turn to for peace? If nothing or no one comes to mind, my next guest is here to help you identify a source of stability. She calls it an emotional anchor, someone or something that holds you steady during difficult times. It's a reliable support that can help manage emotions and alleviate stress. I'm so intrigued by this idea. Clinical social worker Ginger Healy is joining me to explain. It's always so lovely to have you.
Happy to be here.
And I find myself thinking, even if you have a person or even if something or someone did immediately come to mind, the idea of identifying and just revisiting this emotional anchor feels really comforting, I think, confident inducing.
Yeah, having it in your back pocket ready to go, because sometimes in the middle of the thick of things, you can't think straight. So this is great prevention.
So explain this concept of an emotional anchor a little bit more.
Right. Think of a boat with an anchor. It holds it securely and steady so that it doesn't capsize or it doesn't drift away into, uncharted waters during a storm. We need that same type of a force to keep us steady and grounded when we're having our own rough storms to navigate.
And you say this idea, this concept of an emotional anchor came from others.
From otters.
Otters, thank you.
I love otters. I'm a little bit obsessed with otters. They're equally adorable and they're really smart. They have figured out a way to keep themselves and their loved ones safe. And so here's what they do. They attach themselves to another. They link paws.
Oh, stop it.
And they connect with each other so they can float better, ride the waves better, keep each other safe, have each other's back. The other thing they do is they wrap themselves, their body and their tails in kelp, and that kelp is like firmly rooted to the river bottom or the ocean floor. It's not going anywhere, so it secures them and stabilizes them. These mama otters, they wrap their babies really tightly and securely in this nest of seaweed so that they can go away and dive and hunt and fish and know baby's okay.
Baby's tethered.
Baby's tethered.
Oh, that's so
So
sweet.
it's this connection that's important and this anchoring to a solid, firm foundation.
I had never heard that analogy.
I know, they're so cute.
Of all the animal analogies, that's one to really celebrate.
It's a good one.
Think about and learn from. What are some examples, Ginger, of emotional anchors?
Yeah, so the first thing that's probably going to come to your mind is a person, a nurturing, solid, stable person in your life.
It's a woman.
It could absolutely
I think for a lot of
be
people that nurturing characteristic leads,
I agree. So it could be a friend, a spouse, a loved one, but it could also be someone that you admire and look up to. Maybe you haven't met your hero, but you can think in your head, what would they do? How would they handle this? For me, it's my grandma. She has passed away, but I consider her my guardian angel. I lean on her knowledge, her unconditional love that's still with me, and it grounds me and supports me and helps me kind of get to the next step.
And you probably think from time to time, what would Grandma do? What would she say
all the time
if she was here?
Yeah, because she was solid. She was steady, and I know she probably wasn't perfect, but I'm going to say she was perfect just because I need her guidance ongoing, so I rely on her a lot.
It was also interesting as you were describing that, like as you were saying, maybe you haven't met your hero, or I think at different times in your life, I'm even reviewing a few life moments of my own where a certain person has come in, even temporarily, even from a distance, but that becomes a resource or a fountain of faith or something that you can draw upon in that moment. That's sort of a sweet thing to think about too.
Yeah, different people come into your life at different times for different reasons, so pay attention to that.
Yeah. Can an object count?
Yes, absolutely. We don't always have someone surrounding us. So for kids, I like to give them the idea of like a pocket stone, something that they can touch and feel that grounds them and reminds them you're not alone, you can get through this. It could be a pet. Pets unconditionally love us, and we can lean on that support.
Or like maybe you take your baby blanket to college. I'm not going to say whether or not that happens.
Asking for a friend. It was a source of comfort and cozy and a reminder of safety and security. So absolutely, a picture works. A lot of different objects can work.
You say a place can hold emotional anchor point for us.
Yeah, think of like if you've ever had a certain vacation spot that just filled you, right? Or going up into the mountains, and those spots are great to have. We can't always have access to that. So you can create your own spot, like in your home. Create a little sanctuary of peace with smells that make you feel better, the cozy blanket, a place that is peaceful and gives you really good energy. That can be a place of anchorship.
I'm sitting here reflecting that Newport Beach is that place for our family, and it goes back generationally to our grandma and two cousins and aunts that come the same week every year. And it becomes this really home away from home type vibe, and so many memories and family ties were bonded or forged there. And all of my sisters, and myself included, we have Newport Beach art in our home, like vintage Ferris wheel pictures, or in different places and spaces. But it does, I never really connected those dots, but it does kind of become that anchor, doesn't it?
Yeah, it brings to mind those feelings that you need in that moment of safety and security.
Here's a beautiful thought. You say even the power of our mind, like a memory can step up and support.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I want you to think about a time in your life that you had a really difficult challenge and you made it to the other side. You survived it, you overcame it. Keep that memory in your back pocket, because you will need to rely on that so that you can tell yourself, I can do hard things.
Yes.
I've made it through this before. It will just infuse you with the energy and motivation you need to keep going.
And what's been all around this and in what we're saying that is worthy of touching on is some sort of spiritual practice or spiritual figure or higher power. That certainly can play a role. 30 seconds left. How can we show up as better emotional anchors, Ginger, for those we love?
Yeah. You can be an otter buddy. You can link to someone and attune to their needs and just be present with them and give them hope. Yeah. That's, I think, what it all comes down to.
We'll think of the otters and we'll think of your wise words around this charge. We appreciate you.
You bet.
Where can viewers get more information from you?
I have a new website, gingerhealy.com.
Okay.
Yep, and I'm on social media, Ginger Healy, LCSW.
We'll link you to all of it. You can bookmark and follow, and you should. Wise words. Thank you, Ginger.
You bet.